I've already bet him to go over 6.5 this year. It's bumped up to 7.5 for their win total
bet
now.
too.
But I just Kyler Murray. I'm not a huge fan of Kyler Murray. I think there's some level of immaturity there, and there's some questions in terms of how much he prepares for games. I get some of it's overblown with the video games. Whatever, it is what it is. But the reality is that the last time we actually saw him fully healthy for an entire season, they started off 7-0 when he was in the MVP conversation. So there's at least some hope there when you add Marvin Harrison Jr. on top of that. 480.5 is his rushing yards, minus 115 to the over. 4.5 rushing touchdowns, minus 115 to the over on that too. Passing yards a little bit low, 34.50.5, and then passing touchdowns 20.5 if you're looking at season-long stats for Kyler Murray there. Is there anything that either of you would like just in those if you had to pick one?
Oh, man. Probably passing yards. He had 3 years, so it's 34.50. So 2019, 2020, and 2021, he went over that number. And those are healthy years. The other years were not healthy years. Obviously, he ended up getting injured in 22 and then came back from injury midway through last year. You have Marvin Harrison. You still have James Conner there. You have Trey McBride. Yeah, you don't have D-Hop, but I kind of like Marvin Harrison Jr. more than I do D-Hop right now. So I think that would be like the only one that I would play. But it is juiced minus 115 to the under. Ryan, what do you think that means?
Yeah, I don't think that there's a lot of love for Kyler Murray, I would play all overs, honestly. I would go, we also forget Arizona last year had the number 1 rushing offense in the league as far as grade. James Conner was a monster, 88.4 rushing grade, finished the regular season with 817 yards after contact, which was third most in the NFL. Now you add Kyler's legs, you also add Trey Benson. So I think he's going to run the ball a lot. I think hopefully he's going to slide and get out of bounds, especially coming off an injury. But I also think they're going to push the ball down the field. You have Marvin Harrison, who's going to be a stud right away, I think. But you also have Michael Wilson. You have Greg Dortch, who I know he's like 5'4", but he could catch 60, 70 balls. 2022, he caught like 60 passes. If he stays healthy, I think he could have a monster year. You have Trey McBride. I think they're going to go I think the offense is going to be really damn good. And you look at it like last year. When Kyler came back, the offense was really good. I mean, and they played much better. They were 5-3 against the spread, only 3-5 overall. But I mean, still, they won 3 games with Kyler. Only won 4 all season. So I think the market is probably pretty low on Kyler, especially like coming off an injury. The immaturity questions: does he care more about Call of Duty? Didn't really go great year 1 with Jonathan Gannon defensively, because that's what we have to remember, right? Like, Shane Steichen was the offensive coordinator, and he's in Indianapolis. And the offense looked really damn good, even when they lost Anthony Richardson. But Arizona, hiring a defensive-minded head coach, I thought the defense was going to be better year 1 with Gannon. And I know they have, nobody, no talent. You would expect it to get better, but it was so bad last year. Don't you guys think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts? I don't think they're going to improve and be a top 15 defense with Gannon right away. I think they're probably heading in the right direction with his scheme. But I just think every game is going to be 35-30. Might get some games in the 40s. So I'd probably play all overs, and it's a team where not only am I going over the win total, I'll probably just play a lot of overs. I think they're going to be a high-scoring team. And I think that offense is going to be really fun because of the run game, which was tops in the league, and now this past game where you have Marvin Harrison, Dortch, Wilson, and McBride. So I'd go all overs. Even if the market is, telling you to go under here.
If you go back and look at Kyler Murray, his rookie year, 3,700 passing yards, 2020, 3,900, 2021, 3,700, and then 2022 only played 11 games, obviously got hurt, threw for 2,300, and then came back last year, threw for just under 1,800 yards in 8 games. So the numbers are there. The over 34.50 is not a crazy number to look at. It's a relatively low number, like you said. It's just a matter of what those games look like. If they are in shootouts, that puts them in a much better position because they'll certainly throw the football more. You're not drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. and not throwing the football to him. That would be organizational malpractice if you're the Cardinals. So you expect him to get a lot of targets, and you expect Kyler Murray to develop certainly a chemistry with him if he was smart. So you'd think that 34.50.5 is a pretty comfortable number to take an over on for Kyler Murray passing yards.
He came back week 10, like you just said. Weeks 10 to 18, they had the 10th highest graded offense in the NFL. And now he's fully healthy with Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't think the Cardinals are going to be bad this year. I really don't.
Yeah, I'd probably go,
at least offensively.
Like, if anybody was going to give me some free money, because I have so much already, like, tied up, like you said earlier, T, like, you know, and I'm, like, looking for accounts now, I can't just go and bet all Kyler Murray overs. But if I had some free bets, I'd probably bet some Kyler Murray overs. I do think that he's going to ball out. Do you think, you know, it's realistic that he catches over 100 balls even though he's a rookie? I hate when we say, like, generational talent because all these wide receivers are so good, and generational means, like, once every generation. All these guys are so damn good. But I'm really excited about his upside, obviously. What do you think, like, realistic expectations are, though, for him this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think the 100 catch, I think that's a good starting point. I don't know exactly if he's going to hit that just because, like I said earlier, they really want to run the ball. That's James Conner's going to get the ball a lot. Trey Benson's going to get the ball a lot. Kyler Murray's going to run the ball quite a bit. So they're very much going to still be in that kind of mode. But I see Marvin really being that down-the-field threat, and that's been something that I think this offense has been missing the last couple of years, is having somebody that can really connect with that deep ball that Kyler can throw. So I'm looking at that. I don't want to say he can't get to 100 because the way he goes out there and goes about his business is just really insane. He doesn't look like a rookie. I know it's training camp and obviously it's more shirts and shorts than anything else, but he just looks so smooth with everything that he does. He stays late after practice and works on the jugs machine. Like, the dude already seems like a vested veteran in this league. And I really do think the sky's the limit for him. It's just going to be a matter of how much can they really keep to their identity of the offense without going too far into saying, hey, we're just going to air it out all day, left and right, till, all week. So very interested to see what Marvin can do. I mean, I've said it a couple times. He reminds me a lot of kind of that humble star that Larry Fitzgerald was, and then you mix in some of his abilities with like a D-hop, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he really changes this offense moving forward, not even this year, but down the line as well.
Yeah, and I know they only won 4 games last season, but 2 of those, one was at home against Dallas, one was against Philadelphia. I believe on the road, they were double-digit dogs in both of those games. And then Kyler came back, and they were pretty good. 3-5 straight up, 5-3 against the spread, and a top 10 offense. I think a lot of people also forget the last year he was fully healthy. They were undefeated going into that Thursday night game against Green Bay. They were a playoff team. I know they got bounced right away, but you look at the West, and San Francisco has some stuff going on right now. The Rams on paper look fine, but they also had Aaron Donald retire kind of last minute, and Matthew Stafford struggles to stay healthy. I'm kind of high on Seattle, but do you think this could be a playoff team, maybe a double-digit win team, and surprise some people?
Yeah, obviously I think they've got to really shore up what's going on at pass rusher, but I definitely don't. I mean, my kind of prediction going into camp was double the win total, so go from 4 to 8. I think there's a couple games in there that they could go either way to where you can get to that 10-11 mark. Obviously I think the Niners are still the gold standard in the division, but there's definitely a spot there for the Cardinals to grab a wild card spot. I think it's very, very much in the cards, no pun intended there. But yeah, definitely think that they can really be one of those teams that comes up. I think the stat is every year 4 teams that didn't make the playoffs end up making it. So, I mean, it's continuing that trend, and I think the Cardinals are a great candidate to be part of that moving forward. It just really depends, how much of a step can the defense take? Because I think offensively, this is going to be a really, really fun team to watch just across the board, from running back, tight end, wide receiver. It's going to be really fun on that side of the ball.